You are listening to Becoming Wildly Resilient, brought to you by University of Kentucky Human Resources Health and Wellness. Together, we will discover how we can thrive at work, home, and beyond. Hello, everyone. I'm Amy Rodquist-Kodet, health coach with the University of Kentucky Work, Life, and Wellbeing program. Welcome to Becoming Wildly Resilient Practices, where we'll explore research-based tips and tools that help us thrive more in the areas of life that matter most. Think back over the span of your life and ask yourself, what was an amazing gift I received? Two things immediately come to mind for me. A new 5-speed bicycle on Christmas morning when I was about 10. It was so unexpected and amazing. It had a great bell, and I was enchanted. And more recently, after the birth of my twins about 5 years ago, I was recovering from a difficult birth, caring for these newborns and not sleeping at all and wildly overwhelmed with our new life. And a dear friend of mine came from out of state, and she stayed with our family for about 5 days, and she asked me, "What do you need?" I was like, I just need somebody to take care of me and cook for me. And she did. She cooked copious amounts of food, and we froze a bunch for meals in the future. She cleaned my house, which is so vulnerable to let somebody clean your bathroom. She took me to appointments. She helped care for the babies as well as my middle schooler. But most of all, she was just present for whatever needs were bubbling up with such love and kindness. It continues to be one of the most beautiful things anyone has ever done for me. This month, we're talking about giving and receiving. It's in the context of holiday giving, of course. Hello, it is December. But a lot of the research talks about giving and receiving far beyond the season of lights. Dr. Elizabeth Dunn, a research professor in the Department of Psychology at the University of British Columbia, researches how time, money, and technology shape happiness and well-being. And she recently shared some helpful tips and advice on giving and receiving with more joy. I found her perspective and research helpful and wanted to share some of my favorite tools and tips with you. Number one, consider gifting time. What Dr. Dunn sees in her data is people feel guilty buying themselves time, because buying time usually means we're paying somebody else to do something we're probably capable of doing ourselves. But what's helpful about gifting time is it's something most people don't necessarily get for themselves. Research suggests buying time can be good for happiness. Dr. Dunn says consider hiring someone to mow someone's lawn or clean their house or babysit their kids, or maybe you want to do that for them as a gift. But the key here is to make it happen. Dr. Dunn's research shows shorter deadlines are better. Don't make a big offer and then just leave it out there. Do you remember those old homemade coupon books? I used to make those for my parents all the time. It might be like a coupon for a homemade dinner or a coupon for cleaning the garage. These are great gifts, but you have to make sure to pick a date now. Put it on the calendar and make it happen. This is an especially great gift if money is tight. Number two, giving the gift of mutual well-being. Our brain circuits and hormone systems feel good when we give. Sebastian and Dr. Michelle Martel talked about this quite a bit in Becoming Wildly Resilient Conversation earlier this month. Generous behavior produces pleasurable feelings, including stimulating those neurocircuits involved in the reward parts of the brain. That's that mesolimbic system that lights up in our brain when we're activated by eating, receiving money, or experiencing pleasure. That's the reward center of our brain. When we are generous with our time, talents, money, our creativity, we foster that sense of generosity. That same neurocircuitry lights up. And that generosity is linked to improved psychological health, happiness, well-being, greater vitality, social connections, improved physical health. Generosity even boosts the immune system and decreases stress. Even planning to be generous with someone we care about enhances activity in the areas of the brain that link altruism and happiness. Dr. Sonia Lyubomirsky, a happiness expert and professor of psychology at the University of California, Riverside, calls this the warm glow effect. When we're being kind or even witnessing kindness, we begin to feel like we're all in it together. We experience more humanity and interdependence, which I think we could all probably use more of right about now. So find some tangible ways to be generous. It's not just good for you, but for the receiver as well. Number 3, you don't have to break the bank with your gift giving. According to a 2022 Gallup poll, Americans spend about $935 on gifts each year. However, research shows that spending as little as $5 on a recipient can make the giver happier. The joy of giving and receiving is not linked with how much the gift costs. Just make sure it's something the receiver wants, which I thought was really obvious, but a helpful and a good reminder as well. Receiving a gift can release pleasurable chemical responses in the brain, like dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. Dr. Dunn says simply asking the person what they want or what would be helpful is a great place to begin. Another key to giving gifts is watching the person receive it. Dr. Dunn's research suggests people are more likely to feel joy in giving when they can directly observe or vividly imagine how their generosity is making a difference for the recipient. If you are miles apart, think about taking a quick video of you or your kiddos opening the gift, taking some pictures, anything that can help capture that little expression of joy and delight you can then send to the gift giver. Research has something to say about our role as being a mindful receiver as well. Receiving a gift can strengthen our relationships. Receiving a thoughtful gift enhances our feelings of closeness and connection to the giver. It increases our sense of social support and can reduce feelings of loneliness. Studies find that tangible displays of care, such as receiving gifts, help to reinforce bonds, which support mental health and well-being. Being on the receiving end can boost our mood and happiness. When gifts are given with genuine thoughtfulness, they can spark feelings of appreciation. And receiving can help us reset emotional balance. Some research suggests the act of receiving can also help people practice vulnerability and acceptance. Receiving gifts gracefully, especially for people who struggle with receiving or asking for help, may foster additional self-compassion and help to reduce perfectionism. Receiving boosts gratitude, which has a robust link to mental health benefits, including reduced stress, improved sleep, and stronger relationships. Practicing gratitude also encourages a shift from scarcity to abundance, which can contribute to more resilience. Speaking of gratitude, Write those thank you notes or send a gratitude text, even if you've already said thank you when you received the gift. Expressing gratitude to each other is a huge boost. People love hearing expressions of gratitude. If you're the giver, see if you can slow the process down even just a little bit this holiday season. Instead of just trying to cross everybody else off the list, take a moment to savor the experience of giving and the pleasure of being able to give to others. The same goes for receiving. When we can bring as many senses to the experience as possible, what do we see? What do we smell? What can we touch? What can we hold? All those things help to hook this meaningful experience in the brain and allows us to savor it for days and weeks to come. Thanks for joining me today and practicing together, because practice makes possible, and that's how we become more wildly resilient. So until next time, keep practicing and be well. Thank you for listening to Becoming Wildly Resilient. This podcast is brought to you by University of Kentucky Human Resources, Health and Wellness. We offer a wide range of online and in-person services to support the well-being of UK employees, retirees, and their spouses. You can find experts in mental health, personal resilience, nutrition, and physical activity. We're ready to meet you where you are and address your unique needs. To learn more about the work-life and well-being services offered by UK Human Resources, visit hr.uky.edu/wellbeing. You can also connect with us on social media and YouTube by searching @UKY Wellness or by email at healthandwellness@uky.edu.